What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Tuesday, January 7th, 2025, and I have an emergency alert to share with you guys. Right now it is 17:22 Eastern Time here in the United States, and we have some major breaking news coming in from Israel. So the Israeli Defense Force has been ordered to a state of high alert by the Chief of Staff Herzi Halevi due to concerns that Iran may launch a surprise military action against Israel soon. So this is very, very serious, and we know that Iran has been doing air defense exercises in the western part of their country and also around their nuclear facilities. Iran has initiated a series of air defense military exercises around the Natanz nuclear facility. These exercises, involving both Iran's army and the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, are aimed at enhancing defense capabilities against potential aerial threats named Great Prophet 19 and Iqtidar 1403. The drills include the deployment of advanced defense systems like the newly revealed 358 missile. Many analysts believe that this is Iran preparing for war with Israel and/or the United States, or they expect that Israel will strike their nuclear facilities once Trump gets inaugurated. And Iran's Revolutionary Guards have announced 30 land, air, and naval drills in 6 western provinces. These will continue until mid-March. The Guards and the conventional army are working together to counter what they call new threats. And Iran's nuclear program is nearing the point of no return, according to French President Emmanuel Macron. Iran is the top strategic and security challenge for France and Europe this year, Macron said this week during an annual foreign policy conference with French ambassadors, according to Reuters. The acceleration of the nuclear program leads us nearly to the point of no return. The French leader was quoted as saying, wow. Okay, so very strong words from Emmanuel Macron, warning that Iran is the top strategic and security challenge for France and Europe in 2025. What does that mean? What is he saying? He's saying that they're going to strike Iran's nuclear facilities this year. That's what he's basically saying. He's saying that Iran's nuclear program is nearing the point of no return. And if you remember, about a week ago, I reported that John Kirby, the national security advisor to Biden, gave Biden strike options for striking Iran's nuclear facilities if Iran were to try to develop nuclear weapons before Trump takes office. They would strike them. Okay, and we know that Trump said during his campaign that it would only make sense to strike Iran if they strike the nuclear facilities. So he supports striking the nuclear facilities. And Iran reported a substantial earthquake of 5.2 on the Richter scale earlier today in the city where a nuclear facility is located in southern Iran, close to Bushehr. So this is very, very serious, guys. The Israeli military is on high alert due to the chances of an Iranian surprise attack. The Iranians are doing air defense exercises around the Natanz facility. The IRGC is doing 30 drills in 6 provinces in the western part of Iran. And the French President Emmanuel Macron is warning that Iran is the top strategic and security challenge, saying that their nuclear program is nearing a point of no return. And also this strange earthquake in southern Iran close to a nuclear facility. Okay. Now, this evening, we have U.S. nuclear forces on very, very high alert. What you're looking at here is a presidential doomsday plane that was airborne this afternoon. a combat scent plane, which is a high priority reconnaissance plane. There were 2 of these airborne yesterday. Now we have 1 airborne this evening. These planes provide ISR information directly to the President and the Joint Chiefs, and we only have 2 of them. So if one of them is up in the air, that means something is going on. And we also have this Sub Hunter off the coast of Washington State, and it's been flying super low right off the coast of Washington, as low as 500 feet in certain instances. So I don't know if they're doing an exercise or if there's a Russian or Chinese sub off the coast of Washington. We also had a B-1 strategic bomber airborne over Texas. And right now we have 2 nuclear war command and control planes up in the air. And here you can see the Sub Hunter, and right over here you can see it was flying really low in this one area, only 500 feet, okay? Only 575 feet in altitude, right off the coast of the Olympic Peninsula. And this update was sponsored by EMP Shield. Guys, EMP Shield has created a special discount just for you, the listeners of the NYPrepper channel. If you go to empshield.com and use the promo code NYPrepper, you can get 15% off your entire order. And why do you need an EMP shield? Well, this is a special device to protect your vehicle, your RV, your solar generators, your radios from an electromagnetic pulse, which could be caused by a solar flare or potentially a rogue country like North Korea detonating an electromagnetic pulse weapon over the United States that's mounted onto a satellite. So protect your vehicles, protect your RV, protect your radios, protect your generators with an EMP shield. Use my promo code NYPrepper to get 15% off. Installation is super simple. This is a veteran-owned business, 100% American-made, and the EMP shields have been tested by the military, okay? And free shipping is included to the entire continental United States. And the link and the promo code are in the description below this video. And now it's looping at the entrance to the Puget Sound, so something is going on over here, guys, okay? They don't fly that low for no reason. It was looping in this one area here and flying only at 500 feet in altitude. The only thing I can think of besides a Russian or Chinese sub being there is maybe they're doing some kind of an exercise. And then here you can see 1 nuclear war command and control plane taking off from Tinker Air Force Base heading south to the Gulf of Mexico, which is soon going to be renamed to the Gulf of America, according to Trump. Trump wants to rename the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, which is pretty funny. And this comes after he said that Canada is going to become part of the U.S., and Trump's son just arrived in Greenland to work out a deal to purchase Greenland. So absolutely insane. Here's another nuclear war command and control plane that took off from Offutt Air Base, home of U.S. Strategic Command. So I will be monitoring our nuclear forces this evening. It looks like something big could be happening soon. And here we have the leader of the Canadian Conservative Party talking about strikes on Iran. I want you to listen to what he says.
Yesterday you said that you endorse Israel proactively defending itself by hitting Iran's nuclear sites, which is something that President Joe Biden does not endorse. Do you not feel like this could lead to a likelihood of an all-out conventional war between Iran and Israel? And do you not agree with Joe Biden and his assessment?
I think the idea of allowing a genocidal, theocratic, unstable dictatorship that is desperate to avoid being overthrown by its own people to develop nuclear weapons is about the most dangerous and irresponsible thing that the world could ever allow. And if Israel were to stop that genocidal, theocratic, unstable government from acquiring nuclear weapons, it would be a gift by the Jewish state to humanity.
Wow, strong words there. He could potentially be the successor to Justin Trudeau. We'll have to wait and see what happens. And we had U.S. reconnaissance drones patrolling the coast of Iran last night for the probably fifth night in a row, flying through the Strait of Hormuz and patrolling the coast of Iran in the Persian Gulf. So something is definitely brewing over here. And Taiwan authorities have reported damage to the Transpacific Express international fiber optic cable, which connects East Asia with the west coast of the United States. It's suspected that a Chinese vessel is responsible for the damage. Okay, so a major fiber optic cable connecting Asia to the U.S. has been cut. Okay, this is very, very concerning, guys. Very concerning. And this comes after multiple cables have been cut around Estonia. Okay, there's only one electrical cable connecting Estonia to Finland and the rest of Europe, essentially. And all the rest of their communications cables have been cut by Russia already. So this is clearly a preparation for war. Okay, by Russia and China. They're cutting the cables to Taiwan. They're cutting the cables to the Baltics. And the reason why they're doing that is right before they invade, they're going to cut the last remaining cables. And then Taiwan and the Baltics are going to be completely in the dark with no communications, no outside electricity. And then all they have to do is bombard their infrastructure from the air with missiles, take out their infrastructure, and then guess what? Estonia has no electricity, and Taiwan will have no electricity and no outside communication. Okay, so this is very, very concerning, and the media is not talking about this. And the Turkish president said that the end is coming for Kurdish forces in Syria. And the day after Israel was saying that Turkey is the number one threat to Israel now, they're now calling for international pressure on Turkey to stop attacks on the Kurds. Turkey must face pressure from world powers to stop attacks on Kurds in northern Syria, a senior Israeli foreign ministry official said. The international community must call on Turkey to stop these aggressions, and killing the Kurds must be protected by the international community. Foreign Ministry Director General Eden Bar Tal told foreign reporters. Okay, so very concerning. Israel is very concerned about Turkey now. And Ukraine is reporting that Russia has reached up to 800,000 casualties. Okay, so 800,000 soldiers killed since the war began almost 3 years ago. Guys, that is staggering. Almost 1 million Russian soldiers killed since this war began. This is very serious. This is not a joke. Okay, I see a lot of people taking this war lightly. You know, this is not a joke, guys. This is a major war going on in Europe. Okay, a war that we haven't seen since World War II. This is a very brutal war. Okay, as bad as the Korean War, if not worse. So this is very concerning, and Belarus has increased its military presence near the Ukrainian border. Apparently, Belarusian ground units have been transferred to the Stalin, Lelchitz, Mazur, and Gamel regions. Okay, so that's pretty weird. Maybe Belarus and Russia are going to launch some kind of an offensive towards Kyiv or Western Ukraine, but Belarusian ground forces are now massing on the border of Ukraine. And a Ukrainian pilot flying an F-16 reportedly destroyed 6 Russian cruise missiles during a single sortie on December 13th of 2024, as per claims by various sources, including Yuri Ignat, former Air Force spokesperson. This event, if confirmed, would mark a significant achievement in aerial combat history, and they're saying that this could potentially be a record, that no F-16 pilot has ever destroyed 6 cruise missiles in a single sortie. Wow. And the Russian Defense Ministry says that Russian troops have taken full control of the town of Kurakove in the Donetsk region. Kurakove is a strategic town. They've been fighting for control of it for the last few months, and now Russia has taken control of it. And Trump's Ukraine peace envoy, Keith Kellogg, has postponed a visit to Kyiv until after U.S. President-elect Donald Trump is inaugurated on January 20th, Reuters reported on January 6th, citing 4 sources with knowledge of the trip. And this month, the South China Morning Post reported that Chinese scientists have simulated a surprise U.S. attack on a Chinese aircraft carrier group in the South China Sea, revealing key details about the U.S. military's latest stealth anti-ship missile, the AGM-158C long-range anti-ship missile. According to the South China Morning Post, the simulation, led by researcher Wang Tiangzhou from the North China Institute of Computing Technology, aimed to enhance the PLA's countermeasures and tactics. It mentions that the simulated battle occurred near the Pratas Islands, with the U.S. launching a large-scale attack using 10 long-range anti-ship missiles. These missiles, known for their radar stealth capabilities and nearly 1,000-kilometer range, targeted a Chinese destroyer in the simulation. Despite electronic warfare interference deployed by the PLA, the missiles switched to thermal imaging cameras and successfully hit the target. So in this simulated exercise, basically the U.S. destroyed a Chinese aircraft carrier with one of the U.S. anti-ship missiles. So China is definitely maybe going back to the drawing board as far as aggressive actions in the South China Sea and around Taiwan after this simulation. And this week, NATO starts guarding critical targets in the Baltic Sea with up to 10 ships. The Gulf of Finland will continue to be guarded, especially by Finnish and Estonian ships, and ships from other countries are stationed in the Baltic Sea now. Okay, so 10 NATO warships will be moved to the Baltic Sea to guard the critical infrastructure. And Congresswoman Laura Boebert has introduced a bill, H.R. 129, aiming to abolish the ATF. And a magnitude 7.1 earthquake occurred yesterday along the Tibet-Nepal border. And here we have some video footage of Trump's son landing in Greenland to meet with Greenland officials to potentially purchase Greenland, okay, and make Greenland an American territory. This is absolutely huge news, guys. This is historic news, and it would definitely be a massive move as far as strategic defense goes, okay, because with Greenland being under the control of the U.S., we could position a lot of our early warning radars there. We could position military forces there. We could position nuclear missile silos there. I mean, there's all kinds of things we could do there. We could set up bomber bases. So this is absolutely massive news. And here we have a graphic prepared by the Institute for the Study of War showing Ukraine making massive gains in the Kursk Oblast in recent days. And they're showing that Ukrainian forces are now closing in on Bolshoye Soldatskaya, which is a major town in the Kursk Oblast. So we'll have to wait and see if Ukraine's second offensive in Kursk bears any fruit in the long term, or if it's just more propaganda from the Ukrainian government. And here we have video footage showing a North Korean Koksan self-propelled artillery. This thing has a range of 60 kilometers, guys. This is a very serious piece of equipment. If you remember, all of the Western media and a lot of the Ukrainian media was making fun of the North Koreans and the North Korean equipment. You know, just like they did with the Russians. They were making fun of the Russians, how the Russians have no boots and expired food from 2016, you know, their rations. But guess what? Russia is still winning the war. Okay, it's all this BS in the Western media, okay, and Ukrainian media as well. Okay, they make fun of the Russian military, they make fun of the North Koreans, but guess what? They're still winning, okay? They're still winning, and it's just a bunch of BS. What it does is it does a disservice to the Ukrainian war effort, okay, by putting out misinformation and making Ukrainians think that their country is winning and that the Russians and the North Koreans are incompetent and that their militaries are terrible and they have bad equipment, okay, but they're still winning the war, okay, even if they're using, old equipment and they don't have boots. What does it matter? They're still winning, okay, and it does a huge disservice, okay, and here you can clearly see one of North Korea's more capable self-propelled artillery, okay, and maybe it's not as sexy as Western artillery, but it can still do a lot of damage, okay. And then here we have video footage of the North Korean Irbm, the intermediate range ballistic missile that they tested a couple of days ago. And this missile has a hypersonic glide vehicle attached to it, okay? So North Korea now has hypersonic warheads. That should concern everybody, okay? And basically this is like a copy of the Russian Oreshnik, the RS-26 Rubezh, okay? It's a medium-range ballistic missile, and it has the hypersonic glide vehicle. Here's Kim Jong-un with his daughter. It's funny that his daughter basically looks just like him. She has that fat face, just like he does, but very concerning. And we have wildfires breaking out around Los Angeles, and there's all kinds of evacuations going on right now. There's an entire fire department that actually caught on fire, which is totally insane, but they've had some really crazy winds here over the last 24 hours, up to 100-mile-per-hour winds, hurricane force winds. And as you know, Southern California is usually pretty dry, so that's caused a lot of brush fires. So you can see here this massive cluster of fires on this satellite, and this satellite will show you where fires are located based on the red squares. So you can see a massive fire here near the Topanga State Park. Okay, massive fire here, all kinds of fires scattered throughout the LA area. And then here we have video footage of some of these fires. Check this out. Okay, this is some kind of neighborhood. I think this is in the Pacific Palisades. 13 houses are confirmed to be on fire in the Pacific Palisades, okay? So, I mean, look at this, guys. This is like something out of a movie, okay? Hollywood is on fire, I'm hearing, too. But this is like out of a Hollywood wildfire movie. Look at how thick that smoke is, guys. That is totally insane. And then here you can see absolute panic in the LA area. I don't know exactly where this is. You can see massive traffic jams here. Wow, look at all that smoke. That looks so surreal. But look at all these cars, guys. Okay, this is why you need to have a bug out bag, because if you try to drive out of the city, you're going to get stuck in a traffic jam just like this, okay? So you need to have a bug out bag because you're not going anywhere in a crisis situation if you plan to drive out. And here we have some reconnaissance activity that was happening last night over the Korean Peninsula and the East China Sea. We had an E-3 Sentry just to the north of Taiwan. That's an AWACS plane. We also had a rivet joint, a U.S. rivet joint, which is a recon plane patrolling the DMZ. And then there was also a U.S. Army beach guardrail patrolling the DMZ as well. But that's the latest breaking news that I have. I might be back later on with another update. If not, I'll be in the 24/7 stream the rest of the night, monitoring our nuclear forces. And until the next time, take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps. Prepare, practice, and persevere. Culinary out. And this update was sponsored by Patriot Supply. Guys, Patriot Supply is doing a massive sale on their 3-month emergency food supply. And to get the deal, you got to go to preparewithnyprepper.com, and the link is in the description below this video. They're selling their 3-month emergency food supply for just $600. So that's $100 off the normal price. And this is 3 months of food at 2,000 calories per day. Has a shelf life of up to 25 years. And all of this is packed into 6 rugged water-resistant buckets. And free shipping is included. And they're also offering a disaster replacement warranty. So if your food supply gets destroyed by a natural disaster, they'll replace it for you with no charge. And they also will provide you with free survival books and information, including a natural disaster field guide, a survival Bible digital copy. So use the link preparewithnyprepper.com to get $100 off the Patriot Supply 3-month emergency food supply, and the link is in the description below this video.